Could it be, right, that Lot or Melanie, right, there's some things that they have to learn, and so they have to bake a little bit more in Ur of the Chaldees, bake a little bit more in North of the New Jersey, bake a little bit more. God's got a little bit more to teach them. I made it out, right, because of the fact that I completed my task over there. I completed what I was assigned to do. But when God gives you a new assignment, you leave that old assignment, you run out, right, as if God is chasing you. You don't bring nothing with you that God is telling you not to bring, right? Because anything I bring with me that He's not telling me to bring will stop the explosion, right? It will stop the implosion, right, of what's going on inside of me that He's trying to work with me on, right, with all my pastors trying to fix me. It will stop that implosion, but also stop the explosion of blessings that will be taking place in my life. Abraham wanted Lot in his life, but when God told Abraham to get out of this from his family and his country, then Abraham brought Lot, who took up a lot of space in Abraham's life and killed the timing for God's miracle, because they waited 25 years, right? Do you know what I'm going to say, right? They waited 25 years. They think they waited 25 years for their blessing. They did not. God waited 25 years for them to get rid of Lot. In this house, if I had Melanie in this house, right, who knows if that would impede or stop the king, right, or whoever God's going to bring this house, right, not in this particular house, but this household, right, of faith that I am, right, who knows, right, whatever I bring with me here, it's not that I don't love my niece, it's not that I don't love my nephew, but whoever I bring with me will have a direct effect on the blessings that God sends to me. Why? Because they're not licensed to me, number one, and number two, when God told me, He said, get out from your family and from your countrymen. He did not say, Jamie, bring Melanie. He did not say, Jamie, bring Melanie. He said, Jamie, get out. Anybody that travels with you is working in the same blessing, right? When I left that place, I left with a knife in my back. Should I then take my niece, if I'm going to bring her with me, and put a knife in her back before we leave? Does that make sense? The story that I have, the story that I tell, is a true story. It's the absolute true story. It's exactly what happened the week that I left. I had a knife in my back, and I left under gunfire of mouth from that church. Should I then put my niece in the same pain that I was in? Wait, and to give her fibromyalgia and all the other things that I'm dealing with too. Crack her skull, right, and separate her spine from her head as well. Reach inside of her and mess up all her organs. Should I become the God of her life and drag her along with me too? I will hold up her blessings because she's not released. God is not released to the New Jersey, and I will hold up my blessings because I have been kicked out. So it's supposed to be Abraham, Sarah, right? And then giving birth to the baby. But Sarah was praying and she said, Abraham, God ain't sending the baby. Sarah got so upset. Abraham, God ain't sending the baby. Go ahead and make a baby with Hagar. And so do that. Abraham was the father of many nations, right? Hooked up all of his nations with Hagar, who was a picture of slavery. So all of the nations hooked up and became enslaved through Abraham and Sarah. Who knows if that traveled down to the Joseph epidemic, right? And with Joseph, right, he allowed slaves to be put into order, right? Who knows if that edict involved their family? That edict passed right through him. And don't get it twisted. Joseph started the slave trade, but Joseph did not start the slave trade for his family. It was not Joseph's contention when he said, when people cannot buy food, put them to work, make them servants, and then make them slaves. It was not his contention that his people would ever go through that. Because when he brought people to Egypt, what happened? They were put in Goshen, the land of plenty, and they were put there to live. And everything was paid for them because they were Joseph's family. When Joseph died, the Bible says that new Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh died, the Bible says the new Pharaoh did not remember Joseph or any of his deeds. It's not that he forgot them, he knew them. But not think about them. It did not matter. That's why you're going to bring your family out of a place that God sends them to. That was their promised land. You're going to bring them out of their promised land to bring them to slavery? Literally? Hagar was from Egypt. Let's not even mention the fact that they went through Egypt, and because they lied, Pharaoh said, the servant that you got, he gave her a servant when she got there because he was going to marry her. He said, the servant that you got, the animals that you touched, everything that you put your hands on, get out and take it with you. So you think you got a whole bunch of riches when you picked up a whole bunch of filthy lies. It's not that he didn't want his stuff. He didn't want to touch anything after you touched it because he feared the God that made you. And so he said, get out, and when you leave, take everything you touch with you. So what does Sarah do? Whose name means princess? Princess took Hagar, which means slavery, and gave slavery over to her husband. Because his name meant father before he actually became Abraham. Abram means father. So princess took slave and gave it to father. This is a very twisted picture. So when father slept with slave, princess got angry. Isn't that always a story? When God starts blessing us, the Gentile nation, when God starts blessing us, his people, right? The Jews got angry. They were in on it, not realizing the end on it comes through Jesus Christ. But Sarah, whose princess, offered Hagar up as a picture, right, of an offering, as a picture of an idol, as a picture of something to give to father. His name was Abram, means father. Sarah means princess. Here, gives it to him. If you're going to offer father anything, why would you offer him a slave? It's something dirty. It's something you didn't. It's not even yours. This is not something that you made for me. It's not. I love making art pieces for people. I made one for Harmony's granddad yesterday. But it's not even that. It's not the art behind it. It's the fact that I'm making it with my hands. Anytime I give to somebody as a gift, I'm not going to just give them up and pray over it, right? Especially if I buy it from somewhere else. But anything I got from anywhere else, you did not purchase the slave from Pharaoh. He did not want it. He said, get out and take it with you. You touched it. You talked to it. Take it. It's yours. You have the king of Salem and the king of Sodom. The king of Sodom and the king of Salem both communicated with Abram at different times. They're dealing with the same war. But the king of Sodom said to Abram, he said, well, I'm not going to give you these things. I want to basically give you some homage. I want to give some stuff to you. And he said, no, because God has promised me many things. And if I allow you to give me anything, y'all don't know, I walk by this now. I'm very careful about who speaks into my life or what touches my life. If I allow you to give me this, then you will be able to say, you made me rich. Well, God is the one that made me rich. Get on out of here. He's talking to them because he basically rescued them. When he wanted to go rescue Lot from Lot's whole kidnapping expedition, I've been kidnapped. Extravaganza. So the king of Solomon wants to give Abram some stuff. Abraham? He said, no, you can't, because God's going to give you some stuff. God says he's going to give you some stuff. You get out of here. So king of Salem came. Abram was smart. Abram paid tithes to the king of Salem because he knew who the king of Salem was. Melchizedek. Just like that. I don't think he was like that. He'd say, what? And Melchizedek's face and start dancing around him. And spinning around him. But that's Melchizedek's. Sometimes in order to get where you are going, you must rescue Sodom to get Salem. It's true. The bad part about it is Sodom is always a picture of nastiness, right? But not to the world. Just like back then, to them, it wasn't a picture of nastiness. They were in everything like they are today. Picking up all the Buddhas and everything like that. Now, I'm just being honest, y'all. Come on, I'm tired. I've been up since, what, 5? I'm not, no. I ain't trying to be nice no more. So I'm about picking up everything. COVID, everything nasty. Buddha, everything nasty. Just nasty. Tragic. Just tragic. Sodom was tragic. There's worshiping everything. Worshiping garbage on the street. Everything. That's what the world is today, and they like that. They dwell in that. They like that. That's why the earth is the Lord's. All of it belong to God, though. Earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. The world, check that out. Even though you want to act stupid, you still belong to God. The world and they that dwell therein. Why? Because if you didn't belong to God, He couldn't put you in a nice, round, fiery hell, could He? Think about it. You're on your way. Just think about it for a second. I'm being nice, and I'm playing with y'all, but not really. It's true. But at the same time, if you're gonna go to hell, bust hell wide open, sin a whole bunch of times, sin a lot, right, and then laugh about it, you gonna go to hell. You know you're going to hell. I'm gonna be quiet about it. I'm going to heaven. You see me being quiet about it? You going to hell? Well, I'm supposed to be nice. You know where you're going. Why can't I just say it with you? You say it. Every time you say, we worship you, Buddha. You know that? I'm going to hell. Same thing. Same thing. Let's laugh. At least let's get a laugh about it. That's where you hit it. So anyway. Everybody likes Sodom nowadays, and back then, because Sodom, everybody likes Sodom, right? But nobody likes Salem. Y'all know that's where I was going. If you watch any of the witch trials and all things like that, they were burning people at the stake because they called them witches. Were they witches? I don't care. I don't live in Salem. Right? So I really don't care whether they were witches or not. It's not that I don't care whether they were burnt. I don't care whether they were witches or not. What I do care about is the Salem, the name, the tag that's associated with it. Hashtag Salem. If you go outside and say that, hashtag Salem, how many people try ask you if you're a witch? Why? Because witches were making things happen. Sis boom ba. You know, they're making things happen. Magical Mixies. You know them toys you bought for your kids? Yep, just like that. Magical Mixies. Check it out. Is that Toys R Us or something? With Jeffrey, that Geronimo? I don't know. I like giraffes. I do. But everybody likes Sodom, and nobody really cared about Salem. Sodom came through, had a whole bunch of riches, go off Abram some riches, and when Abraham said, get on out of here, he left. Here comes Salem, in quiet, right? In obscurity. Nobody really knows Salem, nobody paid attention to him. Salem was the one that Abram knew his riches were coming from, so he paid tithes to Salem. Now, I'm not trying to be mean. I like giving my pastors donuts and stuff like that on my own. I don't want to give it to the church. I'm just being honest. I told elders that. I do. I tell them again, I don't want to give it to the elders. I don't want to give it to them. I want to give it to my church, or my pastors. Singularly. Give them gifts. Give them something that way they know it's not just a paycheck. I want to, Jamie got you this. So if you want to just sign on the dotted line and then it means nothing. No, I'm an artist. What do you think? I don't want to give them not like that. They got that. Contribute to that. But when I give them stuff, I give them art. I give them something like I want to give him and Miss. I said from the beginning when I made that thing that went in the Chamber of Commerce, I want to give Pastor David and Miss Andrea that art piece. I still got to fix it up. It's got over 500 roses on it. The problem is it's heavy. Number one. Number two, it's just art. It's from my heart. But I don't want to mess their house up like that. I want to give them art. But anything I give them, I want to give them from my heart. I give David Lewis something, I'm giving something from my heart. I'm giving art. Everybody's giving them tithe money to pay their bills. And they check. Their bills paid? Because I turn my lights off to pay their bills. I've done it. In Jersey, I've done it. Didn't pay my bills and gathered enough money to write my pastor a $1,000 check. He still don't know who did it. And I gave him a bouquet of flowers. I will do it. I won't pay my bills, but I make sure their bills are paid. I got credit cards. Don't play with me. I got credit cards. Now, that's what they fold. I got 4 credit cards. I should get one more. The first credit card, Pastor David Hara. Second credit card, David Lewis. Third credit card, Pastor David Hadigians. What's her name? Yeah, Hadigians and Trent. They can share a credit card. And fourth credit card, Pastor Tim. Don't play with me. My pastors will be decked out, and I will be on the street. I don't care. I was living in my car and did it. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to recognize who is really on your team. All of my pastors are not on my team. I know it. They don't think I know it, but I know it. Does that mean I'm not on their team? Nope. That means I'm even more on your team. Those are the ones I smother. Not include Pastor David. Not include him. Or David Lewis. David Lewis is like a bunny. You know, he's really smart, and I'm starting to realize he's actually really smart. I thought he's really like a bunny. Like a bunny. Like a bunny. all that to say, Abraham, your nose going somewhere, turned down riches for himself to give and pay homage to the king of Salem, Melchizedek. We're so wrapped up in ourselves that we turn down what God is telling us to do, or who God is, to pay riches to ourselves. What are we doing? We're going back to earth. We pay tithes to ourselves, right? We make ourselves the idol, right? That's what I'm telling you. Idols originated, I believe, in earth. Because what are we doing? We're going back to earth, right? Where did Abraham send his servant? Sarah had died. He said, do not. Abraham was outside, right? He's outside of earth. He said, do not get a woman for my son from these people. You go back to my countrymen. The same place that God had set Abraham out of. He said, you go back to my country. As long as it took God, right, to separate Lot and Abraham, which was the exact. Here's the thing, God, let's go back a little bit. Where was Abraham? At the terebinth tree, right? He met Jesus and the 2 angels out there, right? So Abraham started talking to God, right? And he said, where are you going? He said, I'm going down Sodom and Gomorrah. He said, Lord, take care of Lot. Abraham was not going to rescue Lot. Abraham was not going to help Lot. He said, Lord, take care of Lot. This is as a result of God telling Abraham. He said, by this time next year, I will be back here, and you, right, and Sarah will have a son, right? Now Abraham missed the meeting. I believe that's why in Genesis chapter, I think it's 22, you see God testing Abraham, because Abraham missed the meeting. Because not only did Sarah have a son, but God did tell Abraham, he said, I will be back here next year. What meeting has God set up with you? I want to hear God. I want to hear him talk. What meeting has he set up with you that you are missing? What meaning has he set up with you that you have missed? You will not chant, and then go ahead and praise God at the same time with the same mouth. It is disgusting. It is voluptuous, and God ain't having it. What meeting is he calling you to? Right? It's not easy, because sometimes you got to get up and go walking. I used to walk for 3 hours a day. I walk 10 miles a day. Sometimes you got to get up and go walking. Sometimes you have to get up in the morning, right, and do a blog. Sometimes you have to get up in the morning, right, and do art. Sometimes you get up and do things that not normal people do not do. And they will tell you it don't take all of that. But only listen to them when they have a relationship with God that you are striving for. They have the relationship with God inside and outside the house, in a bathroom, on a toilet, I'm going to be honest with you, as well as in a bedroom, in the bed. That they have the same relationship that you are striving for. Not that you have, but that you are striving for. Because if they ain't 20 miles ahead of you, right, and then don't even pay attention to what they're saying, don't even listen to them, right? So it does take all that. Sometimes it takes even more, right? Because very quickly we get slipped up and I pull back. Oh God, what happens if God pull me out? I get sucked back into right? Because even though God separated Abraham And Abraham died a man with a large account, where James said it was accounted to Abraham for righteousness. Abraham had faith to be counted to him for righteousness. Even though Abraham had died a large man, a large man, like a large man, a pleasant man, a blessed man with a large account in God. Isaac did not die that way. Isaac died blind. And I believe that the reason why Isaac died blind is because he was fine until that servant brought Rebekah to him. How could he then see? How can you see? How can two walk together except they be agreed? Isaac meant laughter, right? But Isaac was the promised child. Why would God give Abraham a child and they call him the promise out of one mouth, but he'd be blind out of the same mouth? How does that happen, right? If I am the promised, I can then not be blind, right? Because I am blind. If I am blind, who do I give my promised gifts to, right? So Isaac would not be the blessing and be blind at the same time, right? If not for Rebekah, right? Where did the servant get Rebekah from? He gave her the camel test. And where did the servant get Rebekah from? He got Rebekah from right? Where her brother Laban was, right? Her brother, her natural brother, her blood brother, right? Laban, right? He said, go get somebody from my people, which means, here's the thing, Rebekah had to be from because that was from my people. Go get somebody from my land, my people. So he went back and got Rebekah from Abraham's land, his people, right? And I'm going to say go get somebody from my people. I'm saying go get somebody from my family, right? So he went, even though God brought me out of I'm bringing something out of for my son, because I don't like what I see here. I don't like what I see here, right? But Abraham did not like what he saw there, but then Isaac ended up blind, right? So he brought a Rebekah to him from right? I'm going somewhere with this. Had to be from So Rebekah comes from lives with Isaac, marries Isaac, and then the sons are born, get into a fight, right? But who ends up with the birthright, right? We think, oh no, Jacob gets kicked out of the promised land area. Jacob gets kicked out of the family. Jacob has to go. Jacob. No, Jacob is blessed to get what? Sucked out of situation. God, whenever he has something great for you, hallelujah, will suck you out. When he sucks you out mentally and tells you go walk, go skateboard, go talk, go preach, go clean across the country. You in Washington, Spokane, clean across the country and go live there. And you may not even know why. I'll send you to a land. I'll send you to a land. He will suck you out. Come out of New Jersey, because nothing good come out of Newark, New Jersey. Not for you. It can't. Just like nothing good can come out of Nazareth. Nothing good can come out of Newark, New Jersey. Nathaniel said it. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? No, not for you. Not with that mindset. But nothing good came out of Newark, New Jersey for me. So he pulled me out of Newark, New Jersey and brought me to Maryland. Making me merry in the land. Hallelujah. I'm still not convinced that I'm not dead. I didn't have to have the time, because I'm like, come on, this is ridiculous.